It's another beautiful weekend here on the African Portal Radio TV International, coming to you live and direct from our studio here in Pretoria, South Africa. Good morning from here to everyone joining us. We are going to be having a great time on this program this hour, as I'm going to be joining with one of our very own all the way from Nigeria, and also I have a guest here in South Africa. That is the president of the China South Africa Federation is going to be joining us on the African Portal, and also I have one of the youngsters that will be joining us all the way from Nigeria as well. It's going to be a great time. It's Weekend Extra on the African Portal. I'm Dari Uluson. Make sure you share this program. The more you share it, the more you give it opportunity to go viral. It's live on the YouTube, and also it's live on Facebook. Go to all the African Portal social media handles. You will find us there. Let's do it together. Let me welcome my guest to the program this hour, as we are going to be discussing issues that have to do with the progress and things that is happening within Africa, and also the relationship between Nigeria, South Africa, China, Ghana, and all that. We are going to be having the continental discussion, and it's going to be a great one. This is one of our very own, right, live with me in the studio. And also we have all the way from Nigeria joining us, the youngster doing well. When you are talking about the crypto, is also a very sound person when it comes to that. Gentlemen, welcome to the African Portal Radio, and how are you this morning? Mr. Lusada, can you please unmute yourself? I think we can hear you in the studio. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, Tiamiyu is also in the house with me. Tiamiyu, how are you this morning?
I'm doing very well, sir. Good morning, sir.
It's okay, nice good to have you here on the African Portal Radio TV International. Mr. Luyanda, are you there? Okay, we are having issue with your, I think maybe you are mute or something. Okay, you're mute now. We can't hear you in the studio. I can see you are talking, but I can't hear you. Okay, while you are checking what is going on there, let me just quickly introduce this great man doing well, and also one of the brilliant brain behind the crypto in Nigeria. How are you this morning, Mr. Tiamiyu?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm good. Thank you so much. Good morning, sir.
Let me quickly go straight to it. Let's talk about what you are doing currently in Nigeria. Let's talk about crypto, Oracle, and all that. Can you kindly introduce yourself to the listeners at home, who you are, where you are, and what you do?
All right, sir. My name is Abdulsamad Tiamiyu, and I'm a Web3 and crypto content creator. So basically what I do is to educate people on Web3, on the space, on cryptocurrency, and the blockchain technology. So Web3 and crypto has actually been revolutionizing how we trade and how we deal with finance. So when it comes to finance these days, as you know, this is basically an upgrade to the finance we know. This is basically an upgrade to the way we bank and to the way we bank the bankless. So the bankless are actually people without, banks, and this is an upgrade to the way we bank them. This is an upgrade to the world of finance in general. So when people hear crypto, they used to think it's just about trading. It's just about buying and selling volatile assets. But crypto is actually more than that. Crypto is more than just buying and trading. Crypto is just more than buying and selling. Crypto is just more than trading these digital assets. So behind every cryptocurrency, behind every token you see, for example, there is always a team behind it. There is always a company behind it. So working with those companies is also part of crypto. Working with those companies, building these solutions is also part of what crypto can do. For example, you are in South Africa, I'm in Nigeria. If we are to work together, let's assume I am a video editor, for example, and you need video editors for your brand. If we are to work together, crypto makes it easy for us to send cross-border payments, for you to make payments to me for the services I'm rendering across border. crypto kind of makes that like super easy. Within seconds, I'm getting my payment. Within seconds, I can actually spend that also in Nigeria. And it is the same for any other country in the world. I can send, I can receive money across any country, super fast, super easy, and super cheap. Because the Web2 way, or let me say the traditional way of doing all of these things, are slow, they are expensive, and they are they are slow and they are expensive. But with crypto, it makes all of these things super easy, super fast, and super cheap. So that is just one of the advantages of crypto. And we have a lot of developers building interesting and exciting things in the crypto space. We have people building solutions that can allow you to spend your crypto directly as fiat. So, for example, last month I was in December rather. In December, I went for an event in Abu Dhabi, and I was able to just spend money in Abu Dhabi because I had crypto in my wallet and I had an ATM card that can work anywhere in the world. So this is also one of the solutions that crypto brings in. So having crypto in my wallet, I can travel to anywhere in the world and just spend my cash easily without having to go through any complex conversion or you trying to convert my naira to their currency. I can easily just spend via that card anywhere in the world and transact and pay for stuff, pay for things. So that is also another importance that crypto is bringing to the world. That's also another solution that crypto is bringing to the world. And just last year, there was an event held by Samuel Oladokun, which is one of the leaders, who is one of the leaders in the crypto space here in Nigeria. The event is called Blockfest Africa. So the aim of the event is basically just to empower people, just to teach people, just to spread the knowledge about crypto and Web3.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much for that introduction. I like the way you lay the foundation, and I'm so excited about it. Why? Because you are already in it, you are doing it, and you can tell us that it's possible and we can do it. Now, let's talk about the safety and let's talk about what can make people trust this process and people go for it. But before we go into that, let me quickly check my second guest. Mr. Luyanda, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you here. And also, I'm joining you with Tiamiyu Abdulsamad. Oh, help me there. Okay.
Tiamiyu Abdulsamad.
Okay. All right. Joining us all the way from Nigeria as well, that we are going to be having the conversation together. Mr. Luyanda Jonas is the president of the China South Africa Federation. Let me quickly start with him, Mr. Luyanda. Let's talk about what you are doing and the China South Africa relationship. Let's quickly talk about that before I continue with Mr. Tiamiyu.
Thank you so much again to be invited in this platform. My name is Luyanda Jonas, the president of China South Africa Youth Federation. I would like to say that the federation that we are leading is a bridge of the two countries, which is China and South Africa. Obviously, South Africa, as part of the African countries that are more on the commodity side, and also which is you speak about your minerals, agriculture, in terms of the innovation and automotive. So South Africa Youth Federation is an advocate structure that advocates for young people. Hello?
Continue. We are with you. We just leave this platform for you so that people can see you clearly. You can continue.
All right. China South Africa Youth Federation is a structure that advocates for the two countries in terms of the cultural exchange, in terms of the work that needs to be done by the two bilateral countries, basically on industrial and making sure that the economy transformation for South Africa gets stronger and better in terms of the highlighted sectors, which is your agriculture, your mining, your technology, your telecommunication, your energy, and also your infrastructure. As you know, that China is the most successful country in the world that is doing very well in terms of the innovation on the systems and development on the technology side, and also and focusing on the global exchange and trying to make sure that all the African countries are joining hand together in making sure that they find its own hegemony of independence as an African country to try to make its own economy to be stable. Same as that now we are in a space of integrating of with the two countries, but also we are focusing as a organization. Because speaking about peoples to peoples program, which is we believe that our brothers, your Nigeria, your Zanzibar, your Tanzania, your Zimbabwe, your Mozambique, is the partners that we are engaging on bilateral engagements to say that let's work together and be one African countries in making sure that young people in particular that we are representing are recognized and their transferred skills of the cultural exchange not only to be taught and be qualified, but also to be employed in their countries. So the federation is the bridge of South Africa and China.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Luyanda. I like this conversation. Why? Because we are pairing the two S together. That is very important for this great continent, Africa. And I believe that what China South Africa Federation is doing is to bring Africans together to also leverage on the growth that is going on in China. And at the same time, we can replicate the same thing into the African market. So now let's talk about Mr. Tiamiyu. If you are there, I want you to unmute yourself. Let's talk about you there in Nigeria, working very hard on the cryptocurrency and also Oracle of it. And let's talk about how you want to link up this opportunity to other African countries. What are you doing to make sure that this go beyond just being in Nigeria, but introduce it to the other part of Africa?
All right, sir. Thank you so much for that question. So when we look at it, the importance of content creation is to educate people in Africa, people worldwide. That is the goal of my channel, for example. And I have people watching from all over the world, people learning from all over the world, people understanding this technology from all over the world. And another opportunity is the event I mentioned that was held last year in Nigeria, Blockfest Africa. So Blockfest Africa is now moving to South Africa for this year. The first edition is coming up. The first South African edition is coming up in May, and the second Nigerian edition is coming up in October. So the aim of Blockfest Africa is to connect creators, developers, newbies into the space. You know, a lot of people that wants to actually learn about this technology, a lot of people that wants to actually build solutions with this technology, to connect them together in one room, to share ideas, to collaborate, and to actually build the Web3 economy, the crypto economy in that particular country. So Blockfest Africa is coming to South Africa, and the convener, Zeus, is known as Zeus the Great in the crypto space. His name is Samuel Oladokun. Has also worked, because the one with the first edition that happened in Nigeria had over 5,000 real live attendees and about 7,000 online attendees. 7,000 people were watching the live stream, and about 5,000 people were present in the event that particular day. So this is something that we are working on, to actually share this technology, to actually educate people about this technology all across the world, all across Africa. And also there are communities being sponsored by leading organizations in this country. For example, we have a community here in Nigeria called Super Team Nigeria. Now, the aim of Super Team Nigeria is to develop talents, to develop creators, creatives, developers, all forms of digital skills, to develop them and to make them market ready to get jobs and to build their skill in this technology. So Super Team Nigeria is a community. Super Team is a global community. We have Super Team UK, we have Super Team UAE, we have Super Team in the US, we have Super Team in almost all countries worldwide, but we have Super Team in Nigeria as well. I think Nigeria is the first African community for Super Team. So Super Team is a Solana foundation. Solana is a blockchain. Super Team is a Solana foundation community. So with communities like this, with local integrations, with local products, we believe we are actually sharing and we are educating people in Africa and with events like Blockfest Africa as well. So these are ways that we are actually taking these things worldwide, taking this thing to Africa. Crypto Web3 is a global technology already itself, but we are just doing our best to educate Africans on how they can actually benefit from being a part of this economy.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Tiamiyu. I believe everyone joining us, you are watching the African Portal Radio TV International. It's live on our Facebook and also live on our YouTube channel. And I have with me Mr. Luyanda Jonas, that is the president of the China South African Federation, Youth Federation, with us in the house. And also I have Mr. Tiamiyu all the way from Nigeria joining us as well. And at the same time, I want to make sure that Mr. Luyanda, if you are there, I just want to bring you back because I want us to quickly link the two together. I want us to talk about the growth that we are expecting through this crypto technology and through the China South African Federation. What can we do within to link the two together and to bring the progress to the continent Africa? Yes, we appreciate the fact that the China is doing well, economy is doing well. It's one of the strongest economy in the world. But we also want to see Africa whereby the youth take the leading role to promote and also to develop things that we can do in Africa to bring progress to African economy. Mr. Tiamiyu, let me continue with you. Look at the event that is coming up in South Africa. What is the readiness and what is the acceptability within the African space?
All right, so the event is just an example to show us what is possible in Africa. And like I said, the one in Nigeria was a huge success. In fact, we had the Minister of Youth Development of Lagos State present at the event. We had the Director General of the Security and Exchange Commission in Nigeria also present at the event. So this is to show that the government are part of this. The government accepts that this technology should be shared to the youth, that we should educate the youth. And when you look at the importance, the benefits of cryptocurrency, you would see that it actually supports economic growth in a way, because now more youths would be employed, more youths would learn digital skills, more youths would be able to actually use these skills to actually work for top brands, be a part of global brands, and basically just change the situation of the country, right? So when you look at it, crypto offers something. One of the importance of crypto is financial inclusion. So, like I said in my introduction, a lot of Africans, a large percentage of Africans do not have access to like traditional banks. When we look at it, in sub-Saharan Africa, only about 49% of adults actually had banks as of 2021, right? But with crypto, with Web3, crypto allows people to actually send, receive, and use money, save money without needing a traditional bank. So that way, more people, more youths would be able to participate in the digital economy. Small businesses and individuals also would be able to gain access to more financial tools to collaborate and compete on the global stage.
Okay, so Mr. Tiamiyu, right. let me pause you there. Let me just quickly bring Mr. Luyanda Jonas in. Mr. Luyanda, thank you very much for coming back. Actually, I throw a question to you, but unfortunately, I think your line went off that time. Mr. Luyanda, let's talk about now the youth of South Africa. What are you doing in your space with this federation to empower and also to make them know more about this great organization of yours? You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay.
The mic.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Okay, fine. Mr. Luyanda can hear us. Let's check what is going on your side. Thank you very much. Everyone joining us, thank you for joining the African Portal Radio TV, coming to you live and direct from our studio here in Pretoria, South Africa. I really appreciate those of you connecting to this broadcast, and I want to sincerely thank my guests. I have two guests in the house that we are having this conversation together. I have Mr. Tiamiyu from Lagos, Nigeria, joining us talking about the crypto currency and Oracle, and also I have Mr. Luyanda with me, joining us right now. Mr. Luyanda, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I think there's a problem of the network where we were in Gauteng.
I see that. I see that. But I
Yeah.
think we can manage. We can manage it. But I'm so glad that you can hear me now. So, what is there for the youth of South Africa as your organization, the Federation? I mean, the China South Africa Youth Federation. What is there for the youth of South Africa?
Well, thank you again for allowing us to come and talk on this platform. We really appreciate it, your studios, the African Portal Radio TV. For the youth of South Africa, it's for the benefit in terms of the improvement and also having the platform of having the what is called the cultural exchange programs and development and go into China to learn more and study so that they can be placed into different companies. Remember that when I was speaking about what is our role as the China South Africa. Our role in terms of the international relation between China and South Africa is the most significant partnership between China and the African country. Now, the significance that we need to play to young people of South Africa is to make sure that as we are advocating that China must bring manufacturing of its own industrial automotive departments like your bringing your cars like your Cherry, your Haval, and so forth and so forth. But now we cannot allow that situation where South African youth are not exposed like your engineers who have qualified but not are not working. There are many graduates in South Africa who are not working. Now we said as advocate people, as the federation, China must bring manufacturing plants. Like for example, now Gauteng, they're gonna manufacture in replacement of Nissan Cherry cars. Now we want the youth of South Africa to also to participate in applying there and get the jobs. Remember that we've got most of the high rate of unemployment of young people in Africa. Now we say as the federation, China must help South Africa on what it's bringing in the country, which is we have to persuade China to say, instead of supplying the cars, manufacture them there in South Africa so that it can create jobs, opportunities for young people who are based in this country. So the benefit there is on job creation, skills empowerment, entrepreneurs, people who wants to venture into business. They must also have an opportunity to go to China and learn how to get the systems of improving their businesses, like your SMMEs, getting opportunities, finding collaboration and partnership with Chinese countries, so that when they come in the country, they form a collaboration of two countries to implement its work in South Africa. As you know, that South Africa is a country that is very, very rich and has big commodities, industrial parks, technology, which is we're living on a 40 IR life now in terms of the things that needs to be done in terms of improvement of the technology. We're living on a digitalization, on an artificial intelligence, which is called AI. China's got all the experts of those things, but we are saying to the youth, we are driving them to give them opportunities in our federation to go there and explore those things that they want to achieve in South Africa and go and learn. Some others, when they learn, they come and implement work in our country called South Africa.
Oh wow, I like that, and the reason why I'm pairing the young man with you is because he is a youngster doing well in the space. I mean, in Nigerian space, and also we want to see how we can be able to link the youth of these continents together. It's a good thing that you have a good relationship with China, but we also want to build a space whereby the most of the thing happening in China can also happen in Africa. And that is what you are saying now, that having plants here in South Africa, I mean, China have their own plant here in South Africa would be a great thing to create more jobs for youth of South Africa. Where do you see yourself with this, and how far are you with achieving this?
Well, as the structure is still new, that was given birth by the Embassy of China and also endorsed by the Departments of South Africa, International Relations, and so forth. Now, we as the Federation, we are seeing ourselves as the people that were advocating for young people not to voice out, to create dialogues, not only for South African youth, and engage the other sister countries and other African countries in Africa, in the AU and large, or Africa and large, or as it is, like your Nigeria, your DRC, your Zambia, where we say we need, as we know that China is interested, is doing its interest of making sure that they are all over in Africa, in making sure they are empowering Africans to develop and stop living on the Western side. Remember, we have been brainwashed many times by the West side because of we are not independent in terms of controlling our wealth or our commodities or our things that makes the countries to enrich themselves. So if ever we can say our position in the next coming 3 to 5 years, which is a 5 year plan, is to make sure that all the African countries they unite as one and make sure not in voice in implementation, making sure that a young person from the foundation phase, which is a pre-tertiary before the tertiary institutions, they are finding themselves relevant, are participating into the programs of developing young people in Africa and the world. And we are saying that in that we're not going to do it alone as China South Africa Youth Federation. Of course, we are, as we are a new structure that will be completing its year by the end of the year, we will be able to advocate and making sure that the organization on its own it can develop itself and grow in making sure that the other things that needed to be achieved for young people are addressed, such as your AI technology, such as your infrastructure, such as your electronics, such as your engineering, such as your farming. There are a lot of opportunities in our African soil that we have, but we're not utilizing. So we have to make sure that we utilize our resources in our state of countries for in order to benefit our people. Now we're saying in the next 5 years, we want to make sure that South Africa young people, 40% out of what we're having is fully placed, employed, and they are skilled and they are given opportunities on small SMEs businesses, which is small enterprise businesses. Now we want to make sure that young people they participate on mining. They must not be quiet. It must not be having that old people only that do mining. Innovation needs to be done by us, and we need to explore and give them platforms to perform that. Now, I listened to our colleague from Nigeria in explaining what he is doing. To me, it's a very good platform of dialogue of our countries, which is we are also trying to advocate that we need to have a global or African dialogue in addressing the challenges we're having as young people and how do we formulate a decision on implementing the change. But what is important is the change that has results. Without a change that with the results, there's nothing that we've achieved. We need to make sure that as a China South Africa Federation, that South Africa, as the heart of Africa, as a country that steers up the acceleration of the youth development and acceleration on the progress of young person on education, on unemployment, and also making sure that security-wise people are protected. Because we're living on a world that people they get hijacked, they get imported because of this human trafficking. We have to make sure that we say stop those things. Those things must come to an end. But now, if we don't create a platform for young people to engage in the African continent and find solution in uniting our people to be one, then we're not going to go anywhere. We are saying that the plan is to make sure that we build our amongst all our African countries and come as one. And we ask China to bring its own skill and we exchange with them. And that can find a peace and solution in creating jobs, in creating platforms of engagement and business growth. Because the passion that our federation has is to make sure that young people are empowered. Young people, especially also women must be protected and they must be placed. Besides protecting, also we must place women, young women, into good position so that they can be treated equally as males. Because we cannot live in a country that, in our countries, all of them, that we suppress young women. Young women, they must formally be treated equally as a young man. So we say, as the South Africa, that we, as forming part of the China South Africa Federation, because our structure consists of Chinese and South Africans. So within our executive, we've got Chinese, it's not only South African representatives that are leading the structure so that we can find the balance of working. And we are persuading to go deep in Africa to find a working relation. So we are making a call that let's find a way to work together. And I think in this platform, it will allow the country, which is South Africa, to make sure they share their sentiments of ideas on the youth empowerment and acceleration of its own program, and making sure that the economy of Africa stays stable.
Wow, I like that. I think we are eating somewhere that is very, very important. Mr. Abu Samad, if you are there, please come back. Let's deal with this. Okay, now we have a solution in our hands right now. The youth of South Africa, we have the Federation of South Africa, China, South Africa. The president is with us in the house, and the president is talking passionately about how to empower South African youth. And at the same time, Mr. Abu Samad is also telling us that is here. We can do it. We have all the techniques. We have all the technologies. We have all what it takes. The human resources is there. The brain is there. We are capable. We can do it. Africa can do it for themselves. And we can also control our own economy by ourselves. And Mr. Abu Samad, let's quickly look at the growth that you have seen so far working in the space where you are. Let's talk about the growth you have experienced.
All right. So looking at the growth so far, personally, I've working in the space has kind of helped me see things in a different way. Apart from the fact that I've been able to educate people who are now, at least making something for themselves as youths in Nigeria, in Africa, across the world. Working in the space has also, helped me, connected me to a lot of companies, a lot of people that I've worked with, has given me the opportunity to, travel out of Africa to discuss this technology, to watch how people from other countries, from people on the global stage are also using this technology to build solutions for their country, and how we can also replicate or do something even better in Africa. Now, it's also connected me to communities, just like the community I mentioned, Super Team Nigeria. Super Team Nigeria has changed a lot of lives in Nigeria, a lot of lives. We have developers, anybody with a digital skill basically comes into the Web3 space to use that skill to make money. Like I said, crypto is more than just trading. If you are a video editor, if you are any digital skill, any real world skill that we have now, video editing, graphics design, development, building websites, building solutions, any of those skills, you can use it to work in the crypto / Web3 space and get paid. Now, one of the advantages is that you are getting paid the same way people outside Africa are getting paid. You are getting paid in the same way, and making money in the same region, in the same amount. You're making the same amount, basically. Yeah. So this has given us that opportunity to actually close the gap between Africa and the rest of the world when it comes to building solutions. So we have a lot of solutions. For example, we have solutions being built from Super Team Nigeria. We have a lot of Africans now working with top brands. I know some of my friends that are now working with global brands that are sponsoring their trips all over the world to actually use their digital skill, to actually use their skill, to actually use their brain to help the brand move forward. For example, the event that was held in Enugu just about 2 weeks ago, Enugu Tech Fest, we have people from Nigeria actually representing global brands on stage, showing people how to use these brands, showing people how to actually make money from these brands as well. So as a youth in Africa, one thing I'll just say is to learn a digital skill, learn any digital skill, learn about Web3, and then use that skill to work in the Web3 space. So
Okay.
Web3 crypto is more than just trading, is more than just, it is actually a solution that is built for cross-border payments. We have products being built to make transacting across borders super easy. So we have products being for Africa. Africa received about $54 billion, I think, within 2023 and 2025 in remittances. Now, the fee for that using traditional way was around 8% in fees. With blockchain, with crypto, you would barely be spending up to 0.5% in fees because the fees are like super cheap. So these are some of the advantages, and the speed as well. I can send like money across border and you're going to receive it in like 5 seconds due to crypto, due to blockchain technology. So these are some of the solutions, and now there are companies building these solutions. So like I said, it is more than just being a part of it. It is more than just using the solution. You can also work with these companies building these solutions, offering them your skill, your expertise, and also getting paid for being part of that company. So it is actually a whole economy.
Oh, Mr. Tiamiyu, let me pause you there. Just stay, don't go, stay on the line because I want to link something together. This is the part of the recommendation. For those of you that you are joining us, please kindly watch, share, like, comment. For those of you that would like to comment or you want to say something, you can call on +27 8424 833 84 +27 787033 and you can also drop your comments on the comment section on YouTube and also on the Facebook as well. We will definitely pick up your question or your idea towards this. Mr. Luyanda, let's quickly talk about the recommendation. Look at the South Africa-China relationship are doing well, bringing growth, supporting the youth of South Africa. You say in the next 5 years, we are going to have a country whereby the percentage of the job losses or joblessness will reduce and we are going to create more jobs in the next 5 years. Recommendation: what idea are you using here in South Africa to also bring our expertise, the people graduating from the university, our engineers? You will realize that most of the plants we are talking about, we have to bring expatriates from other countries to come and work within Africa. What is your organization is doing to empower South Africa to do most of the job by themselves and also to use their own skill, what they're learning university, to grow their own economy? What is your organization do on that?
Well, I will say on our organization plan, as we say there, that we are advocating the needs of young people. We are saying as a structure, we want to make sure that as people they get opportunity to go and study in China, whether it's a mid or short term or long term, and they come back. Obviously, people were advising them that wherever they go, we must place them according to what China is doing where in South Africa, so that they can get to companies. And also, like what our crypto colleague is saying, in terms of the skills of what you have as a young person, I appreciate what he's saying a lot. I'm learning that maybe we must exchange also as South Africa and Nigeria on teaching young people and say, this is a solution, this is how you can do it. But some people are very scared to enter into this because they get scammed. And also people on this thing of human trafficking, people, they get scared to go to China or in other countries because like others that went to Russia and then there was a problem of them to bring them into South Africa. Yes.
They are in the front. They were now in the front of the war, fighting the war they don't know about.
You see, so as the federation, as we're saying that we are advocating, we are making sure that young people are protecting care from when they depart in South Africa up until they arrive in China and they get to there where they're going to sleep and where they're going to be placed in university. And when they come back, which is called monitoring. And when they come back, we make sure that they are placed according to their skills of qualification. Now, to address the points that you raised, which are very critical on this conversation, that, well, as a structure, we want young people to explore their needs of they want to achieve academically, to say to them, we're not going to tell you to choose, but however, look at the need of what you need in your area where you're specifically have you applied for, and see whether this thing is going to help you or not. Because remember, we're living in a modern world now, which is digitalized. And so we as the Federation were saying that we are there to give them information, guide them, and making sure that we monitor that what they went to study in China and coming to South Africa, it's happening to what is placed on companies that are available in South Africa. As you know that many European countries are leaving South Africa now, which is now we have said as the Federation, we are bringing Chinese companies not to take over South Africa, no, but to assist us in establishing all the sectors that are living. Hence, I spoke about automotive, which is where you manufacture cars, you manufacture tractors, you manufacture tires. Where also you speak about innovation and technology, where you bring your parts of understanding the AI and also the cryptocurrency matters, that how they are done, so that people like my colleague next to me can share and assist to say this is how you can do it right, and you can make a sustainable income as a young person. Our role is to guide, and our role is to advocate, and our role is to unite and making sure that there is a development of a young person.
Wow. Mr. Tiamiyu, let's talk about the safety, because I know you are talking about the cryptocurrency, like Mr. Luyanda already mentioned. Now, people are scared because a lot of people have been scammed. A lot of people, when they hear crypto, they want to run because all these things, the belief is a scam. Let's talk about the safety so that we can also share this across the globe. People can also benefit from it. Talk about the safety of using cryptocurrency, especially people going to China to study in China. They can easily send the money within their own space to their country in South Africa, and at the same time applicable to other countries in Africa. Let's talk about the safety of it.
All right, sir. So before I talk about the safety, the example you gave now, people actually moving from South Africa to China, maybe to get some things, to buy things and stuff, crypto would make that transaction super easier, super fast, and super cheaper. But when it comes to safety, the first thing to note is that crypto runs on what we call public blockchains. So every transaction is public, every transaction is verifiable, and every transaction is sent by anybody in the world publicly. These transactions are visible and they are traceable. Now, on blockchains are like the technology that makes these transactions possible. They are the technology that makes these things possible. Now, on blockchains, every transaction is recorded permanently. That is, once a transaction is recorded on the blockchain, it can never be erased. It cannot be altered. Yes, it cannot be erased and it cannot be altered. So it is immutable. No one can change a transaction. Now, this is where the security part comes in, the security aspect, the first security aspect of blockchain. One of the selling points of blockchain technology is that it is secure. Now, it is secure because it is built on a structure. It is built on a structure whereby the transactions, like I said, they cannot be altered, they cannot be erased. Now, it is also built on a trust network. Now, we have a lot of concepts that makes this security possible. One of it is the proof of work. Now, this proof of work concept is done by blockchains like Ethereum and some ERC blockchains. Now, what this does is that for every transaction that you send on the blockchain, there are nodes connected all over the world that verifies this transaction and actually accepts them. Now, for a bank, for example, they run on the central server. That's why they are called central. They run on a central server. They are being controlled by banks, by governments. They are being controlled by one individual. But for cryptocurrency, for blockchain, it is not being controlled by one individual. Just one person does not have access to control it. It is decentralized. It is global. So crypto works in a way that we have millions of nodes, millions of computers connected all over the world. And for just one person to make a change in the crypto space, that person needs to have access to all of this computer, which is not possible because this is let me explain proof of work. Let me explain how proof of work works. So this proof of work means for every transaction that is being sent through the blockchain technology, it needs to be approved through some series of mathematical expressions, mathematical conditions that need to be accepted for the transaction to be stamped on the blockchain. Now, these mathematical expressions, these mathematical formulas are being done by nodes called blockchain. They are called mining nodes. And then people actually set up this mining node. I can set up, it is expensive to set up, but people set up this mining node, but they cannot determine what would happen through that node, because that node is connected to like millions of other nodes worldwide. So this is the way it works. It works in a way that it is decentralized. Not just one person has access to it. So it is like a group of computers verifying these transactions. So that is one. So all of these transactions can be seen on the public network known as Explorer. So that if I open an Explorer now, for example, you see all of the transactions happening worldwide, like immediately. You see them immediately on the Explorer. So this is something that makes blockchain unhackable. No one can hack into any blockchain, into a blockchain, because it is not controlled by one company or one organization. So that is one. The second point for security is all users actually control their funds. Unlike banks, whereby you have your funds in the bank and the bank can freeze your account for some reasons. The bank can tell you don't have full control of your funds for some reasons. We've seen cases like this whereby people would have to like go to the bank to solve one issue or regarding their funds. Now for crypto, it is different in a way. So for crypto, we have something called digital wallets. Now this is where you hold your funds. And these digital wallets are connected to the technology I mentioned before, which is like the blockchain. Now, what happens is with digital wallets, you are your bank and you are your own banker. You are not giving your money to a bank to hold for you. You are in charge, 100% in charge of your security. So no one can freeze your wallet, no one can freeze, no one can take control of your funds. And funniest thing, and one of the best thing, let me not say funny, one of the best thing about this is if you use a platform to like open that wallet, for example, you can use any other wallet to actually log in and still access your money. But you are your security, you are your bank, and you are your banker. So when it comes to like wallets, for example, you have something called, when you open a wallet, let me just explain the surface layer of a wallet. When you open a wallet, you get something called a 12-word phrase. Now, this 12-word phrase is the pass, is the code, is the access to your wallet. Now, when people complain of getting scammed or of losing their funds, it is because of lack of knowledge as to regards all of these things. Now, that is why education is also part of what I'm going to mention when it comes to security. But this wallet gives you something called a 12-word or a 24-word phrase. Now, this is just like a token, like different random words. 12, it can be 12, it can be 24. Now, this is what gives you access to log into your wallet. Anybody with those 12-word phrase or 24-word phrase can access that wallet. That is what it means. But with those 12-word phrase and those 24-word, if you are the only one, if you keep them safe, you will be the only one to access that wallet. Now, this is where education comes in. A lot of people came into crypto space without understanding these basic things. And then when someone messages them that, okay, I want to help you to do something, I want to give you some money, send me your 12-word phrase, they send it because they don't know that this 12-word phrase is the access to their wallet. So that is one of the things that crypto makes possible. It makes it possible for you to be your own bank and your own banker. Now, also, we have other solutions that helps you keep your money safe. We have some other type of wallets. We have something called an hardware wallet. And this is an example of an hardware wallet. This card is an hardware wallet. This card is an hardware wallet. Now, any funds I have on this card, before I can send it out or before anyone else can send it out, they need this card to actually approve that transaction. That is also part of security. So this is an example of an hardware wallet, right? So hardware wallet also makes it possible to totally store your money offline. Any money I have on this hardware wallet now, it is totally offline. No one else can access the money in this. Even if they have this card now, there's also a code again that they need. So this is also where security comes in. Apart from the one that has 12-word phrase or 24-word phrase, there are more upgraded securities like hardware wallets, whereby you need it to be around you 247. The money on this wallet, for example, is totally offline. I need this wallet and I need my code to approve any transaction, whether I'm sending money, whether I'm trying to perform a transaction or anything. So that is also part of security. Now, security also comes to people actually getting educated. One of the big risks, like I mentioned, in crypto is the lack of knowledge. So people need to learn how wallets work, how to send money, how to verify some projects, how to ensure that these things are secure. People need to, these are just basic knowledge though, but it is just things that people need to learn when they are coming into the space. And also, we also educate people on how scam works, like I explained with wallets. So that is something that maybe someone just coming into the space might not really understand because they don't understand. So that is why education is like very, very important also. And also when we look at it, regulations and infrastructures are actually improving. So we have some solutions that are operating in Nigeria that are crypto solutions. But before they were given license to operate, they registered with the Security and Exchange Commission. So they are working with government to actually regulate these things to actually make infrastructures improve. So in a way, many governments, many African governments, and many of the companies actually building crypto solutions are actually exploring crypto regulations. So we have a lot of crypto companies in Nigeria, a lot of crypto solutions in Nigeria, and they are actually following the guidelines being laid down by the government, being laid down by the Security and Exchange Commission. Because yes, we know this solution is very good, but at the same time, the government are coming in to actually protect the interests of, their citizens when it comes to security. So with regulations, we are seeing a lot of regulation frameworks. We are seeing a lot of infrastructures. The new tax law in Nigeria also gives like room for crypto traders. Now they are taxing what crypto traders are earning because governments are actually regulating these things, and government are actually also working on building infrastructures surrounding these things. So with these regulations, with educations, with learning about security, and with actually the way wallet works, I believe like the space is like, for example, I know people like me, I know like hundreds of thousands of people that have never been hacked or fallen to scams. But it also comes down to the way we came into the space. We had to learn properly. We had to understand the security aspect of what we are doing, of what we are coming into, and we are using this knowledge to actually help ourselves, to protect ourselves. So this is actually quite simple, but people need to just basically learn first before actually putting money into. Or and also one of the things because I mentioned putting money into, one of the things we talk about a lot is that you don't have to bring money from your Web2 job or from your real life job into crypto. You are to come into crypto to actually earn money. So that's why one of the things we talk about a lot is that you earn from crypto. You don't bring in money from, maybe you are doing a 9-to-5 job. We don't advise people to bring in money from a 9-to-5 job to come and trade crypto, because we are not selling trading points. We are telling people to come into crypto, to come into Web3, to build solutions and to actually earn. We want you to come with zero and actually earn from it. All you just have to do is to ensure you have a digital skill, you understand and you build yourself in the global digital way. So you learn a skill, you develop a skill, and then you come into the space with that skill to actually earn, not you bringing money from your 9-to-5 into the space. We are telling you to come and take money from the space.
Let me quickly come in there. I like what you said. Mr. Luyanda, I hope we are learning something from here, because I think this is one of the area whereby we can also create skill for our people and at the same time create knowledge, because knowledge is power. And that is why I pair two of you together. You will be looking at why are we pairing these two topics together. It's very important, because as people are dealing business internationally, they must also have the knowledge of how to transact, how to bring their money back to their home country, and also how to share what they have in their resources within, and what they can do in the corner of their room that can also bring bring income to them. A lot of youth are complaining today, there is no job, but there is a lot of jobs on the a digital platform that you can do and make money in a legit way. And this is not about being, being a a fraudster, but doing the legit thing and the right thing at the right time. Mr. Luyanda, before we say goodbye, because our time is going so fast, before I say goodbye and before I let you out of my way, please, what is the advice for the South African youth and African youth, especially from what you are doing currently?
Well, our advice in South African youth and large is that knowledge is power is true. Also, education. We are advocating that young people they must go and study, and they must excel on their studies, and also to quote on what Mr. Abdulsamad was saying that for you to understand and protect uh, your your vision, you must make sure that at least you have the knowledge of what you are doing or what you have entered into. Make a research, make an assessment, but also we want to make sure that we encourage them that they must take themselves serious. They must stop criticizing. Criticizing won't help you. Bring solution, bring innovation, bring ideas, and we will allow the platform for people to go and explore, like what will engage with Mr. Al Samad, that this knowledge that is giving young people also in this platform, people they must go and learn about it, and they must ask more. Now we're saying to South African young people, for what they want to achieve, discipline goes a long way, respect goes a long way, and honesty goes a long way. Because we are not here to promise, we are committed as an organization to advocate and help young people to accelerate their programs that they needed to be done in the government sector, and try also on private sector to be what, to push them to be involved in the private partnerships. Like you've got your Huawei, you've got your MTN in South Africa, you've got your Vodacom, you've got all the telecoms in South Africa, which young people they don't understand where are these institutions, which is what saying to them, if they want more, the gadgets of cell phones that they're utilizing at, they must utilize them on a usage of sourcing the information. At the very same time, we are saying that we understand the data is expensive, which is what calling the South African government that to reduce the data that is being used, because data is expensive. For young people to access information, they need data. So we need to make sure that the data also in South Africa, the price are too high. All the telecoms companies, they must try their best to try and reduce the price of data, because we want to engage young people not only physical but on digital platforms like this, so that they can have access of information instead of not using internet for wrong things. We push them to learn what is cryptocurrency, what is AI, what is chat GDP, and all those things that are very artificial intelligence for the usage. We are gonna have a, hence was speaking about what is called people to people campaign. People's people campaign is very clear about Chinese. Hence, China, like China is celebrating, it's a year of a horse. We're speaking about prosperity. We're speaking about wealth. We're speaking about development, transformation. Now, when you talk about those things, you are talking about the things that are not the only physically but digital, which we can formulate and create jobs, not only being skilled on engineering part or being a doctor, but also using these platforms of the digitalization, which is the technology, which is we can you can get yourself as an entrepreneur, a company that can do mining using the technology system. You can be a designer. You can be, which is the designer of a website, which is you can be designer of a structure of business, which can help a young person to grow. But we are saying to them, discipline, respect, honesty, integrity. We are advocating them to go there for them, and also they must be ambitious. Ambitions help, because it gives you a strength to understand the context of being a young person, to be involved.
Oh, all right. I think we lost Mr. Luyanda Jonas there. Mr.
We are saying,
Tiamiyu. Okay,
so
continue.
we are saying, sorry, there was a call coming. So we are
I see.
saying that in summary, that Mr. Abdulsamad, let's make sure that all the African youth in Africa, they get one voice. We push them to know, to share more knowledge in transformation. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Luyanda Jonas. Thank you for that information you dropped on the space. And everybody watching us, please kindly share this program. Let it go viral. The more you share it, the more you give it opportunity to go viral. What we are doing is to bring Africa under one roof and to build one Africa. And that is exactly what we are doing. And that is why I'm pairing Mr. Abdulsamad and Mr. Luyanda together so that we can see the future and the prosperity that we have in this great continent, Africa. I have a question for Mr. Abdulsamad. Mr. Abdulsamad, before I let you go, what motivates you? What motivates you into this line of the endeavor?
All right. So, what motivated me initially was, me trying to look for a way to make something for myself, to actually learn about technologies and to, use this to actually make money myself. So when I started, I learned, the simplest skill, which was managing a community. So I learned managing a community. Then I decided when I got my first payments from that, I decided to learn more on this technology, learn more on how we can use this technology, build with this technology, and also make more money. So after learning that for a bit, I decided maybe it's time for me to actually share this knowledge to, more youths in Nigeria, more youths in Africa. And that was what made me create my page, Crypto Oracle. So the main focus of Crypto Oracle is to educate people on these technologies, educate people on what crypto is, on what Web3 is, on how they can, on different terminologies and different concepts in crypto. Because to be honest, when you look at it on the surface level, it looks complicated. But when you go, and yes, it is complicated in a bit, but when you go deep, you see that these things can actually be explained in simple ways, in simpler terms. So because I saw the potential of crypto like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I decided to learn about it, and also decided to share my knowledge to different youths in Africa, and help Africans actually understand this technology, make money from it, build solutions from it, and also be able to compete on the global stage. When you look at what others all around the world in other continents are doing, we can do that, and we can do more than that, to be honest, as Africans, because we have what it takes to compete on this global stage. So that is the motivation. That is all the motivation I need to create these pages, to educate people and to actually share this opportunity to as much people as possible.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years as you are riding up?
So it's in different ways, to be honest. I see myself building a solution that would be useful to all of Africans, to creators worldwide. And I see myself, being part of a global brand, helping a global brand do something amazing in Africa, and helping at least 2 million Africans understand and use this technology to solve problems for themselves.
Well, choosing this career, is there any edge to head between you and your parents that this is what I want to do? And what role did your parents play to make sure that you're on this line?
So to be honest, my parents were actually supportive, because I started, I think, when I started in around 2020, properly in 2020. And one of the things was my dad allowed me to follow him to his office. So I was able to use his space to learn, to shoot, to develop myself. It gave me the freedom to actually spread my wings, to actually understand and to actually use the time I have to actually learn this skill well and to actually develop myself in this. So they've been very, very supportive from the very beginning, and they actually helped shape my brand, shaped me into someone that can actually understand this technology and also use it too. And because it's also in the media space, it actually gave me the motivation to actually spread my wings online, go into media properly, because when you look at content creation, it is in a bit related to media, because I deal with like digital medias, create content creation, and all of those things. So apart from the fact that I was able to like learn the technology part of crypto, I was also able to like learn and develop from him on how media is, on how media works, on how to share accurate information, how to make proper research, and do all of these things. So that is like part, just in fact, that's just part of the support. That's just a little bit of the support that I've gotten from him. He also helped me with like getting the initial gadgets that I was using to create content. All of these things are like support that without them, it would have been really, really hard or almost impossible to actually grow, to actually develop, and to actually be able to like educate other Africans.
All right, thank you very much. Why I'm saying that is that, Mr. Luyanda, I think we have a work to do there as the organization. Now let's go out there and also help the China South Africa Youth Federation. Our youth needs to be empowered. There is no doubt about that. Our youth needs to be empowered. The program like this needs to be going on almost every weekend. I will be doing this, and I will be bringing different guests onto this program. This is Weekend Extra on the African Portal Radio TV International. I have with me in the studio Mr. Tiamiyu Abdulsamad and also Mr. Luyanda Jonas. That is the president of the China South Africa Federation, Youth Federation. He have explained a lot about this federation, about the relationship with China, and about the growth we are experiencing, we are going to see in South Africa. Mr. Luyanda, thank you for your time, for coming out to be part of this conversation. I really appreciate it. I hope when I call on you again, you will be happy to be here.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. A golden advice for the parents, especially those of us that we are still behind in technology, that we are scared to let our children exploit the crypto, the AI, and all that. What is your advice for the parents, Mr. Luyanda Jonas?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Yes. My advice to the parents, they must encourage their young people to explore more opportunities. However, they need to make sure that they monitor what their children or young people are doing. Being a parent, you are a guardian to a young person. And hence I was speaking about discipline and respect. Now, it comes also into us as young people, that are we respecting our parents or not? So we need to work with our parents and support and understanding. So what I'm saying to you, the best way is, let's make sure that as young people we listen to our parents, because respecting our parents and making sure that we love them and we support them and we listen to their advice will go far. But if we are irresponsible young people, our parents won't help us, because it depends on us on taking into an account to be disciplined as a young person. So I would say to that the parents, they must do their work with passion and strengthen the part of making sure that their own child is developed and they give the resource where it's necessary, it's supposed to be. And they must love their children.
Wow, thank you very, very much for that. I really appreciate it. I'm going to link you with Mr. Abdulsamad to continue the conversation behind the scene. And I'm going to link Mr. Luyanda Jonas to you as well, Mr. Abdulsamad, because this is what the African Portal does. We connect people, we bring people together. Africa, we can do it. Believe in yourself. One of the things that will make this continent great again is Speak Africa, Eat Africa, Wear Africa. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdulsamad and Mr. Luyanda Jonas. Thank you for your time. I will see you again. Have a very great weekend and God bless you. Keep preaching what you are preaching and God bless you. Bye for now. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is where we're going to be drawing the curtain for this hour. We really appreciate those of you that connect to the African Portal Radio TV International, coming to you live and direct from our studio here in Pretoria, South Africa. Thanks to my guests in the studio, and we have unpacked a lot of things. A lot of things have been discussed we talk about the crypto and also the growth that we need to see between the South African and China Youth Federation and the youth. You need to leverage on this opportunity, learn AI, learn crypto, learn all these digital things that is going on right now. Technology is doing so well. Let's also play a very big role. If you look at what is happening around us in the world today, you will agree with me that the crypto is the best way and is a good way to transact, sending money from one place to another. If you are working remotely, you want to get paid with your crypto, you can do that easily. That is what Mr. Abdulsamad, that is what is telling us, and also is telling us that it's very secure. He already break it down for us, and I really thank him for the great work that he's doing in Nigeria. And also I thank Mr. Luyanda Jonas for the great work he's doing in South Africa. Nigeria and South Africa is a great country that will bring this Africa together to bring the best out of the Africa to the world. That is the program coming up on the African Portal. Till we meet again next week, have a very great weekend and keep watching, keep sharing the African Portal Radio TV International. I'm Joshua Oludare Oluson. Keep watching African Portal. Don't forget, later in the evening, Minister Mary Bowman will be joining us from Jamaica on the African Portal Radio TV. And tomorrow we're going to have a guest all the way from UK that we're going to be having the conversation. That is the lady evangelist Tadeshe, will be on the African Portal tomorrow as well. Keep watching African Portal. For advertisements, call us on +27 8424 83384. Call us, let's do it together. And if you have anything, any question, call us on +27 8424 83384. You can go to our website, and also you can go to our social media handles on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Thank you for your time. Have a beautiful weekend and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye from here.
We got to be starting something. We got to be starting.